press the mic on. Good evening, members, officers. Welcome to Cabinet on June the 26th, 2023. I'm Derek Poole, Councillor and Chairman for this meeting. Before I start the meeting, I have to read this message out. There is no fire drill scheduled in the building this evening. If the fire alarm sounds, therefore, please could I ask that you make your way down the main staircase, out of the main doors of the Town Hall, and congregate at the entrance to Caldecott Park. An officer of the Council will then give you instructions when it is safe to re-enter. Thank you. Moving swiftly on to agenda item 1 is the minutes of the previous meeting held on the 5th of June 2023. Can I confirm that those are the minutes held on the 5th of June 2023, please? Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Thank you. Agenda item 2. Are there any apologies, Chief Executive?
Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Moran.
Thank you. 3. Declarations of interest. To receive declarations of interest for non-pecuniary interest as defined by the Council's Code of Conduct for Councillors. No. B. Pecuniary interests as defined by the Council's Code of Conduct for Councillors. And 3. Notice under Section 106 of the Local Government and Finance Act 1992, non-payment of community charge or council tax. No. Fine, thank you. Moving on to agenda item 4. Are there any questions, Chief Executive, please?
Chair, there's no questions.
I'll leave it one. Thank you. Go on to item 5, a growth and investment portfolio, a submission of community infrastructure, CIL charging schedule for examination. Councillor Picker.
Thank you very much, Chair. So as the report sets out, this is for the draft community infrastructure levy to be submitted for independent examination. This is fundamentally a good thing as it will widen what we are able to get infrastructure funding from as part of the planning process. It has historically enjoyed cross-party support, so I'm hoping it will continue to do so. The community infrastructure levy proposals have been through consultation both within this authority and with external partners, and no serious concerns or objections have been raised as part of that process. So the next part is for this to go on to independent examination so that it can be assessed, and I very much hope that it will come back with not many, if any, modifications, and then we can adopt the community infrastructure levy as part of our planning process and continue to generate funding for infrastructure improvements in our borough.
Thank you, Councillor Picker. Councillor Mistry, any questions?
No, Chair.
Councillor Roodhouse, any questions?
I suppose the only one is it'll be a test when it goes in for the inspector to really, because who knows what the inspector will come up with at the time, but no.
Thank you. It's been moved by the portfolio order. Could I have a seconder, please?
I will second that, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Daly. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Agenda item 6, again Councillor Picker, creation of a SIL and local plan monitoring officer post, please.
So having just approved the principle of the community infrastructure levy for raising funding, it is important that we make sure we have the staff and the resources to properly administer that new levy. So this report would create an officer who would be able to do that. In terms of the funding of the officer, although we would have to fund it initially, it is expected that it would become self-funding through the infrastructure levy moving forwards. So it is, having agreed that we should have an infrastructure levy, this is an important part of actually making sure that scheme delivers for our residents.
Thank you. Any questions, Councillor Mistry? No? Councillor Roadhouse.
I should have asked this before, because it's going to be self-funding, isn't it, through SIL? How do we monitor that? Is that just through... Is it down to the Chief Officer to be monitoring that and the money's coming in? Sorry, I should have asked that before. But...
Yes, so as we get the additional funding through from infrastructure projects that we weren't initially able to levy, we will use some of that funding to deliver this post, is my understanding.
Thank you. Councillor Picker's moved it. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Watson-Merritt, thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 7, the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, Year 2 spend. Councillor Picker.
Thank you very much, Chair. So again, this is a good news story for our community. It involves the first stage of Year 2 funding for the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, which is being delivered by, or given to us by central government, and we will then deliver projects throughout the borough to enhance the local area. The focus on this initial stage is supporting businesses tackling the cost of living and renewing the public realm, particularly in the town centre. There's also a focus on leisure, sports and wellbeing, so things like running community tournaments and other such proposals that will come forward. The thing that I want to make clear is, although we're outlining the initial funding pots, it's not the detailed spend at this stage of exactly what projects we'll be funding. That's going to come through work with the local partnership group, which this report would also seek to establish, and that group will serve to invite and support schemes and submissions of interest from communities and businesses. I do think it's important to say that it's not for myself as an individual portfolio holder, cabinet, or indeed this council as an organisation to unilaterally decide how this funding should be spent. That should be done in conjunction with the communities and the people we represent, and that's why the local partnership group is so important. And I do just want to highlight paragraph 3.5 of the report, where we will work with all group leaders on the precise membership of the local partnership group, but the report outlines some of the people that we would seek to engage with. And then subsequent to this report, there'll be further spending coming through later this year, and we'll continue to engage with members in the community on those funding pots. So, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Picker. I think it's very important that we use this money, use it wisely for the better of rugby, and I look forward to seeing where it goes. Councillor?
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. Just quickly, can I just ask, maybe in terms of who are the local partnership group members? Because you mentioned in 3.5 that has to be decided, or is it been partly decided and the working group will sort that out?
So no final decisions have been made on the membership of the local partnership group yet. Obviously, if this report's adopted, which I very much hope it will be, we will consult with group leaders on the precise members. I know there are some conversations going on, but it will be those people within the town, and there is an item, and I'm just trying to find the exact page number, which gives an indication of the types of people we would seek to engage with locally. But the precise members haven't been decided yet, no.
So do I say it's a blank piece of paper at this stage, yeah?
It's not entirely blank. There are certain groups that we will seek to engage with, but I can't give any specific names at this stage.
Councillor Rodas.
Well, I'm presuming in paragraph 3.3 we've got a list of bullet points that'll be. Is that a menu, or are we choosing from those?
It's an indicative menu. Obviously, if there are people who are worthy of joining that group, or organisations that aren't necessarily on that list. That doesn't preclude them from becoming involved, but that's an indication of the types of people or organisations we'll be approaching.
So that's not the a la carte version then. The meetings, when they take place, are they going to be, are they private or open, openly recorded in public and then moved into private as and when need be, or is it a behind closed door partnership board?
That is a very good question, and one that I will get back to you with an answer on, because I don't know at this stage, and I suspect it will, as with our meetings, depend on exactly what's being discussed at any individual meeting. So it might be that there is the opportunity for some of those to be public, but there may need to be some that have to be behind closed doors, but I will get back to you on that one.
Thank you. Is that it, Jerry? Councillor Roodhouse. Is that it? Finished? Thank you. It's been moved by the portfolio order. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Mrs. Robbins. Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Unanimous. Thank you. Agenda item 8, leisure and wellbeing portfolio, sport facility improvements. Councillor Daly.
Thank you, Chair. This report is to support and progress the appropriate use of Section 106 funding that's being contributed through development in the borough. The primary focus of the report is the utilisation and creation of approved budget codes for the Section 106 funding relating to development in the Corston area. Alwyn Road Recreation Ground is a Rugby Brough Council open space and leisure asset, and the developers' contributions were specifically sought for much-needed improvements in this location. It should be noted that Section 106 funding has a signed legal agreement outlining Alwyn Road, and the funding cannot be spent elsewhere. Officers have engaged local sports users, namely Rugby Welsh Rugby Football Club, who wish to enter a partnership with the council, contributing significant funds from their club to support a development of the facility that would benefit their club and the wider community. The report also includes a request for Section 106 funding for outdoor sports provision to complete the full refurbishment of the council's athletics track facility. This will see significant improvement to the hammer cage and throws area and enable the Rugby Athletics Club to continue to strive and develop with nationally competing athletes. I therefore move the report as written.
Thank you, Councillor Daly. Councillor Mystery. Councillor Roodhouse.
All self-explanatory.
Thank you. It's been moved. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Watson-Merritt. All those in favour? Thank you. Unanimous. Agenda item 9, finance and performance. Councillor Miss Robbins.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, this is the usual end-of-year report that we have, outlining how we got to the end of 22-23. You'll note that there are 3 items to go to full council. The main issues here are the underspends, which, as I said, will be going to full council for approval. You may want to note that, where are we? There are some items which, of course, are overspent, but these are also within budgets. For Councillor Roodhouse's information, the KPIs, which I'm sure you're going to mention, are hopefully we will have a new system up and running very soon, and we will have a report coming back to Cabinet and Council in the very near future. And from what I've heard, it will be a much more easy item for us to understand and to be able to actually get around and see what's happening. So hopefully that will be a good one for you. Other than that, as I say, this is retrospective, but if there's any questions, I will be happy to give some answers where I can.
Thank you, Councillor Robbins. Councillor Mystery.
Chair, I had a good chat with John, I think it's been last Friday, and I've been on the audit ethic committee as well, so thank you.
Councillor Roodhouse, KPIs.
Is it on Power BI? I don't know, but the other bit, I just note in 3.3 that the creation of the business support grants reserve as well coming in to play at the same time, really. But no other questions.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councillor Ms Robbins. I'll second it from the chair. All those in favour? Thank you. Item 10 is Communities, Homes, Digital and Communication. Councillor Mr Willis.
Thank you, Chair. This report, again, another good news story. It's with regard to a opportunity for government funding to be used to underpin our move towards being carbon neutral in 2030. We have the opportunity this coming Friday for the outcome of a funding application grant bid for £50,000, which will enable us to bring in the expertise and analysis to work on 3 of the buildings, or to guide us through 3 of the buildings within the corporate portfolio, namely the Ben Hall, the Work Service Unit, and the Rugby Art Gallery and Museum. If successful, the outcome of the grant bid will be known this coming Friday, and the expertise will be used to take us through the process by the end of the financial year. That's very much part of our, this is a heat decarbonation plan, HDP, as we move forward, as I say, towards carbon net zero in 2030. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Mystery.
Chair, just for clarification, I don't know whether Councillor Willis meant to say Town Hall and not Ben Hall.
Thank you, Councillor Mystery. You are indeed correct. Town Hall, noted.
Councillor Roodhouse. Thank you. It's been moved by Councillor Willis. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'm happy to second that, Chair.
Councillor Picker, thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Next item on the agenda is change and transformation, the delivery of the corporate strategy 22-23. As you will have read, I hope, all 31 pages of the report. It's self-explanatory. The current corporate strategy ran from 21 to 24, and it was adopted by Council on the 23rd of February 2021. I'm not going to go through it. You should have had time to read it all. Hopefully you will agree to the recommendation that this corporate strategy be noted for 22-23. Councillor Roodhouse? No. I'll move it from the chair. A seconder, please. Councillor Ms Robbins. All those in favour? Thank you. Right. There are 2 items on block. Item 12 and 13. Are there any questions from our 2 councillors? Councillor Mystery?
Yeah, I went through with John on Friday in depth in terms of, like a crystal ball, really. There are figures that's been used, and in terms of interest, inflation, and you win one way with the interest going up, and then you get hammered the other side with the inflation, which brings in the cost of, raw material, labour goes up. So on balance, I don't know whether it's good or bad, the mixture of 2. So just wait and see.
Yes, I've had that briefing this afternoon, and I was the same as you, so we will wait and see. Thank you. Councillor Roodhouse?
No, such is life at the moment. Up and down, up and down.
Thank you. With that question in mind, the 2 items, 12 and 13, I'll move it from the chair that we take them on block. All those in favour? Oh, seconder. I do apologise. Councillor Ms Robbins. Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Pleased to be council tonight. There's no further information and no further reports to